life. I think, yeah. You goofed hard.
You
You
goofed-
really, really goofed
I
hard.
agree with that. I think you got to, make it up, especially if she's gotten really upset about it. It's probably the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Find a different workout regime.
How do you guys feel about games like this?
I like these games. There's this game that we played called Taboo, which is like you get a card and you're in partners. Usually you partner with someone that you know pretty well.
Right.
Yep.
You get a word, like let's just say if it's ocean, and then there's a whole bunch of things you can't say to describe to the person. It might be like wet, water,
Okay.
swimming.
Beach.
So you got to get them to. I have to get you to say ocean.
Yeah.
And I could be like sharks, whales,
Yep.
and you could be like fish. I'm like
And you get there eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great game to play with someone that you get because you could always just be like it could be a word that relates to something. It's like, oh, we did this when we blah 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 blah, and you don't need to say the word.
The word, yeah.
That's a really fun game to play. I think when you have those partner skills, when it's someone that you spend a lot of time with, they're really fun to play.
Mm-hmm.
Games like this, though, I don't know. Anything that could sort of start an argument.
Exactly. The marriage game sort of things, or the best couple sort of games. It's like the winners are happy because we're the best couple. The losers are like,
You don't know me at all.
You're questioning whether you've made the right decision, whether you should get a divorce. These games don't. There's no winners out of it.
It actually like the weak fall to the bottom, the strong float to the surface.
Yeah.
It reminds me of this game show that I've been watching episodes recently, just on YouTube. I can't remember what it's called, so let me get the name up before.
Right.
And it is maybe one of the hardest game shows. Like,
Is it
it's
like
called
a
Moment of Truth. Have you seen Moment of Truth before?
No. Is it like a MTV sort of game show?
It was on years ago.
Okay.
And I think
I
it
like
got...
you're rewatching it on YouTube.
Oh, well, because like I got into it because like a YouTube commentator started reacting
Watching
to
it.
episodes.
Yeah.
And it is the whole premise of the show is so messed up. So the idea is that, let's say Marcus is the contestant, right?
Yeah.
He rocks up, and in the crowd is Marcus's girlfriend, mum, dad, and maybe a best friend. So let's say, Tom, you're there, okay?
Right.
Whole premise of the show is Marcus has taken a lie detector test with all these questions.
Yep.
Then he comes out, he's on stage with the host, and the host will ask him a question that's true or false.
Yeah.
And Marcus has to be honest and say true to this. And
While
then
he's on the polygraph test.
Yes. And then
Does he know that we're there?
yes, he can
Okay.
see you guys. They're right, like you're right there, right next to him. You're actually
Right.
part of the show, which
Sure.
I'll get to later. And the idea is that if he answers correctly, he gets like say $5,000, and it goes up and up and up.
Yeah.
But obviously, as the money gets higher, the questions get
Yeah.
More intense.
intense.
Have you ever cheated on your wife?
Have you, ever,
Exactly.
have you ever thought about killing Tom?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is questions like that,
Whoa.
right? And the thing is, the people that are watching the family and friends, they have the option to, if a question is too, they don't want to hear the answer to it, they can hit a skip button.
Okay.
Right, but then they always follow it up with an even worse question, so it's a slight reprieve.
Yeah.
And my God, some of the stuff that these people cop to,
Really?
it is brutal.
So they'll say it because like, I need the money.
Yeah,
Like
and
they'll-
one of them is even like, can you see one I watched recently was like, can you see yourself having kids with your current girlfriend? And she's sitting right there,
Right.
and the guy's like, no.
Oh.
True. And he's like, congratulations, you just made $5,000.
Yeah, it's
and the
like,
poor
yeah,
girlfriend
right.
has to sit there.
Yeah, but
course.
you
And
know what?
cop
Maybe
this.
he was already, like in this scenario, he was already planning on dumping her, not
Yeah.
sharing the money with her.
Maybe.
And just like, I'm going to go out for as much money as I can.
What a
and-
juicy
Yeah.
idea for a show.
But essentially, I think like 4 episodes aired,
Yeah.
and then it wasn't received well because you're basically torturing people.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
And there's like 18 unaired episodes because it just never like
How
it
old
was
is
not.
it?
It's probably like early 2000s,
I reckon
maybe
there's a
mid
place-
2000s.
there's a place
all
for
the
it
episodes
now.
on YouTube?
I think I've seen like 4 or 5. I think.
Okay, so
It's a tough watch.
There's a place for it in this time and place. I think people like a bit of savagery now.
with
Yeah.
trash TV
With trash
as well.
TV the way it is, I think it's
Yeah.
almost okay with like
people like to peg people down a little
Married
bit.
at First Sight and all those sort of shows.
Yeah.
They're bottom barrel scraping sort of scenarios.
Yeah,
generally.
but it's just, I guess those type of games I just never want to be a part of.
Well,
Yeah.
boy, oh boy, it's quite a blindside there, even
Yeah.
for a bit of cash.
Apologize to your wife, girlfriend.
Yep.
Go to a new spin class.
And that's the answer.
And
That's the answer, I
answer.
think, yeah.
All right. I think we're going to leave it there for the show, guys. That's all the time we have for the questions. But yeah, great questions brought to the table as always. Sorry that we weren't around for the last couple of weeks, but
Yeah,
here now.
I was convinced that I'd made a post on our social media saying we're not recording for the next couple of weeks. It turns out I didn't.
I mean,
So I apologize for that
there's
as
no
well.
episode there. There's no episode there.
That's it.
Yeah.
But there is one now, so please give it a listen.
I like to think that our fans probably know us well enough now that sometimes we disappear.
Yeah, right.
And then come back.
We're the great Houdinis of the podcasting industry.
Maybe they just thought that we got sucked up by the Bermuda Triangle or something.
The last thing we talked about was probably the Bermuda Triangle.
It came for them.
Yeah,
It
right.
came.
I posted it while I was on a boat. But yeah, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for the show, guys. Thank you to everyone out there for listening. Thank you, of course, to Marcus.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you to Damien.
Thanks, guys.
And as we end every episode,
Stay curious. Merci, oui, oui. Je m'appelle pain au chocolat.
Croissant.
thank you again for listening. If you want to get in touch with us and ask us a question of your own, you can email us at tqhpodcast@gmail.com.
That email again, Tom.
Is tqhpodcast@gmail.com. We're also on what, Marcus?
We're on Twitter. We're also on Facebook.
At TQH Podcast. You can find us there. And we are also on, Damien.
Wherever you can get a podcast, that is where the TQH podcast is. Spotify, iTunes, Spreaker, Stitcher, you name it, we're on there.
And if you head over to iTunes, rate, subscribe, and leave a review, that would be fantastic. 5 stars if you think we deserve it. Thanks for listening.